All of my nightmares begin the same. Hi. This flyer.
Right there, on idols. You want to be the idol, you got to stand on that sign. You ready for fame and fortune?
Yes.
You ready to impress us?
Yes. Hold on, let me just grab my guitar.
Whatever.
Back then I didn't know what potential meant, and Shameika wasn't gentle and she wasn't my friend, but she got through to me and I'll never see her again. She got through to me and I'll never see her again. Shameika said I had potential. Shameika said I had potential.
You are a beautiful girl, beautiful child. Focus on other things. Never again. When someone says sing, you go, yo, hide. Ne?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not working.
And then I died of humiliation. Okay, I lied. I actually don't usually have nightmares. I do, however, have time on my hands. So let's talk about stuff. Okay, anyways, so Idols SA. Let's talk about it. This show basically raised me, you know? And just like your parents, you look back and you're like, it actually started airing in 2002, Mnet. It gave people pressure to get DSTV decoders because now, if you didn't have one, you were gonna miss out on the culture of sitting in front of the TV with your family members and just ripping people apart, just judging people. As a unit though, as a family unit, watching Idols SA was really a family bonding experience. I don't know of a family that is actually close that doesn't judge people together. If your family doesn't do that, is alles alright by the huis? A family that doesn't judge together. But also, it served as like a wooing mechanism. Yay. Hey guys, English for real. Today, what's happening? As a way to woo musical artists and musical creatives on the prospect of joining the entertainment industry. And the appeal of the show, or what the show like kind of implied or promised, is that the show acted as like the gatekeeper to this industry that is known as being this industry of just hopes and dreams. You know, there's a price to pay. There
is a price to pay.
They have told us time and time again. Everyone that's in this industry always tells us, there's a price to pay. It's still one of the most glamorized industries that is well known for how hard to penetrate it actually is. It acted as like, hey amateurs, do you have any vocal talent? Then come on over and try your luck. We could groom you to join, huh? And as a young person, like watching the show, being young, you know, being impressionable, you're like, wow, maybe if you haven't asked yourself, should I join Idols? Then you're lying. Because you kind of test the waters, you know, you're in the shower, you're like, and you're like, huh? Okay, maybe this can happen. And then you watch Idols for like 3-4 seasons. And then you test the waters again, you're like, and you're like, noticing the patterns, noticing the type of requirements that they have for the people that win, the people that end up winning. I'm like, I don't check all the boxes. I don't have... Why do I keep doing this like it's a wig? Tell me. They have a pretty marketable background. They have pretty good looking faces. Like, looks matter, let's not lie. They are pretty young. They have pretty... Those voices that just... They kind of resonate in the room. And likability. It's a voting type of show. So you need to be likable to a majority of people. You can't be an acquired taste. You can. But an acquired taste that everyone kind of likes. Kind of like alcohol. You have to be like alcohol. I just never understood why someone would stand in line 7-8 hours going through whatever they go through when they get there, and without the absolute assurity that I meet the requirements that I see, and maybe I could, like, without the absolute assurance that, yeah, maybe, you know, I'm better than most. I just never understood that. You know, you watch those wooden mic compilations and you're like, all of these people, nobody ever told them. Nobody ever told you.
I love to see walk into the room.
Let's go.
Just one look in your eyes.
The question is why? Like,
Why?
my theory is that it's potential. We can blame potential. Okay, we'll just continue the conversation from here. Fiona Apple released an album called Fish the Bowl Cutters, and bro, do yourself a favor is all I'm saying. Anyways, the second song on the album is called Shameika, the song that I sang in my mock audition. Shameika said I have potential. In the song, she describes her childhood, and she describes this girl called Shameika, who's like, I guess, someone in her class. And Shameika is someone who comes up to her and she's like, you have potential, boo. Shameika like symbolizes the first person who alerts you to the idea that all that you are now is not all that you can be, you know? The idea of potential. They alert you to the fact that just because you're crawling doesn't mean you won't walk. And just because you're walking doesn't mean you won't... What comes after walking? Walk faster? Run? That's called running. Cool. And I feel like that's kind of why people stand in line, regardless of their talent, regardless of their level of singing or whatever. Someone will go to Idols SA because they believe in their potential. And in order to believe in your potential, you need a Shameika, you know. And Shameika is so important. But however, for the ego to put its confidence in its potential can be very detrimental. And here's why. Here's a young story time. A young story time. My Shameika was everyone around me when I was a child. I was one of those children who like kind of did too much, you know, sports, academics, public speaking. So I was told all the time, you're great, you're amazing, you're the next biggest thing, and turned out to be the biggest disappointment. I'm kidding. Let me not say that, that's not nice. Okay, so I've mentioned ego. Let me just do a young crash course on ego so we're all on the same page and we can conduct this conversation with mutual understanding. Crash course entered now.
Oh, hi there. Welcome to a crash course on ego. Prior to stepping into a psychology lecture, my understanding of ego was limited and largely informed by the 2009 hit Ego by Beyonce. Oh baby, how you doing? You know I'ma cut right to the chase, huh? Some women were made, but me, myself, I like to think that I was created for a special purpose. And what's more special than you? You feel me? See, I was only 10 at the time, so I had no idea what she was talking about. All I could gather was that the person that she references throughout the song had one that was, hold on, 1 second. Let me just. Oh, here we go.
Listen properly.
The person in the song had one that was too big, too wide, and couldn't fit.
But I get it. I get it.
Whereas Beyonce likened ego to a sense of self-esteem or worth, the world of psychology introduced another one. Now, if you have ever casually read Psychology Today, maybe taken a first-year psychology module, maybe even hung out with a few undergrad psychology students while they psychoanalyze each other, then you're probably all too familiar with the name I'm about to mention.
We are looking at how to pronounce in German. His name would normally be pronounced Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud.
Or the Beyonce of psychology, as I like to think of him, theorized that the ego is one of 3 unseen portions of the mind. The ego's main job is to mediate between the conflicting desires of the id and the superego, the other 2 portions of the mind, reprimanding the primitive id when its desires become too inappropriate, and negotiating with the bureaucratic superego when its demands become a bit too harsh. But falling down the rabbit hole of trying to understand different perspectives of the ego, I got lost, and now I'm more confused than before. So what we need to know about ego in this video is that ego is the part of you that sifts through the bullshit and tries to make sense of the world and your place in it. Anyways, let's just get back to the video. Anyway.
Great. Now that we're back, we're all on the same page. While the ego is developing, it looks for these cues. It looks for Shameicas. It looks for the anti-Shameicas. The people that make you feel like you're a piece of shit, They are important too in the development of ego, especially at a young age. So, even though Shameika is important, I feel like placing your confidence in the idea of potential is not healthy either. When adults and people in your childhood, when they tell you things, usually
It's a lie.
Ma'am, I've already called your offices 2 times and been rejected. Please.
Ma'am, I apologize for that inconvenience, but our offices do not open till Monday morning.
Mama, Mama, please hold on.
No problem.
Okay. Mama, shit. Bentle jwang? King yan. Yeah. Wow, Nana. Yo, o talented jwang? Oh, artist, ne? Tap up. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Wow, Nana. Wow. I don't know, I feel like as the ego develops, when it's young, it's still fresh, elastic, and then it starts to congeal around those ideas that people tell you. And most of those ideas, as you grow up, you learn, oh, that was a bad idea. I feel like that's just what growing up is. It's just unlearning all those bad ideas that your ego congealed itself around. When you grow up thinking that you're perfect, it can be very harsh. It can be a very rude awakening when all the years reveal to you slowly, painfully slowly, all the ways that you are incompetent, flawed, and average.
In the words of one of my actual friends, you're basic.
Your ego tends to celebrate all the things that validate itself. So when you're not perfect, and when you realize perfection is stupid and dumb and doesn't exist, it's hard to let those ideas go. What really am I saying? Potential is great. It's great to believe in your potential, but it's also very important to kind of be real. Let's be real. You're not Beyonce. When I realized that I wasn't the best, I was just a big fish in a puddle. You go into high school, go into university. I kind of stopped trying because I was like, what's the point if I'm not going to be perfect? And that's very damaging. What's worse than putting your confidence in your potential is not trying at all, you know. And you know what? Sometimes it's about the vibe. We don't need more Beyoncés. We don't need another Beyonce. All we need is just people trying their best to be the best of themselves, you know. So that got very passionate. that was interesting. So accept your flaws and stop striving for perfection. I'm here with you. I'm shouting at myself too. Stop planning. Just do the damn thing. On that note, I'm gonna leave a clip that really made me happy, and it's from an Idol's Wooden Mic edition, and I just it was such a vibe.
You said you hate me, you don't wanna be with me. I tried to show you some love, but you chose to push me away. Now let me go, baby, let me go. You broke my heart. I don't wanna see you. I don't wanna be with you. Just let me go. Just let me go.
Yep, I tried. You know, I tried to articulate myself. Sometimes English works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. This was fun. Yeah, I was doubting myself. I'm glad we're here now.
Shameika said I had potential. Shameika said I had potential.
Okay, bye.